It was amazing to build this drainage system
at the end of November
I'm getting
2019.
so emotional. I work in construction all the time in Darwin. The job opportunity. I cannot believe this chapter is over.
I cannot believe this chapter is over. So this video will be entirely in English because this is my farewell to Australia, and this is how I would like to show my love and respect to this country that I call home for the last 5 years. Here in Australia, we have the tradition at every event or celebration to acknowledge the traditional custodian of the land. Today, I would like to begin this video by acknowledging the traditional custodian of the land on which I gather, the Wadja people of Nungabuja. I recognize their continued connection to the land and waters of this beautiful place and acknowledge that they never ceded sovereignty. I would also like to pay my respect to elders past and present. It has been a very beautiful journey with so many challenges that I would never thought that I would face. I experienced so many different jobs, work environments. I met so many new people of different countries. There is so much to know about Australia. It has been such a journey and feel so emotional today. I moved to Australia at the end of November 2019. And I was 24 years old. Now it's the end of November 2024. I'm 29. I feel like I became an adult here, even though I still feel a little bit naive on some parts of my life, of course. I feel very smart about a few things, and that's fine because I'm still learning. I feel every day I'm learning something new. I didn't give up on my dreams, even though sometimes I had very tough situation. 2 years ago I've been scammed and I lost all my savings and I was really depressed. I was such a different person during that time. I didn't want to live anymore, but then I pushed through. Now I can say I survived. Life is way better now, but I got stuck for 2 years in WA because it was just before COVID. I ended up in a work in Austria. I met so many friends there. And the connection that I created there are just amazing. I don't have many friends, but the few friends that I have are really the best one that you can ever ask. Those 8 months in the same work in Austria really shape then my entire experience in Australia. Then I moved near Perth. I worked in hospitality, then in farming again. Then I started my journey in construction, still in WA, and I'm so grateful for that opportunity. I learned so much. I learned so much about myself. I learned that I actually like manual jobs. I like to see the result of my job, to use my body, my strengths, to work in a team. It was amazing to build this drainage system in Canada. Thank you to all my teachers, to all my teammates, to all my colleagues. Of course, it wasn't perfect. It was Canada, it was super hot, but I still had a great time. I met my best friends there, and we were traveling every weekend. Even though we were like working from Monday to Saturday, I had such a great time in Canada. It's a little town in the middle of nowhere, but the surrounding is amazing, especially if you like hot weather. And then after that I moved to Tasmania. I had some trouble with my car, but I made it to Tassie. What a beautiful country. I love mountains. I couldn't wait to do some hiking. And I spent 2 months just road tripping around Tasmania. I got snow during a hike at the beginning of November. It was like magic because I didn't see snow for 2 years at that point of my life. The people that I met there were amazing. We were helping each other or giving each other space. We were building snowmen along the way. We were making angel on the snow. Oh my gosh, I have so many memories. I cannot wait to print all the pictures and make an album. Oh my gosh, I love that. I would love that, but it's gonna take forever because I have so many files. I have so many pictures and videos. After those months traveling in Tasmania, I stayed there working for 5 months in a national park. Unfortunately, I had trouble again with my car. So I did enjoy my time there, but at the same time, I was stuck there because I didn't have a car. What an amazing place to get stuck, since I love hiking and there were so many different tracks on that national park. And then after that, I visited Melbourne, but I'm not a city person. And then I moved to Darwin for 1 year. I love Darwin. I love the people that I met in Darwin, even though in Darwin I got scammed. So I had very, very, very depressed months. My friends helped me a lot at that time. I work in construction all the time in Darwin. It's such a small town, but there are such a big Italian community. And at that time I was so happy with my English, because the first year I spent a lot of time with Italian, so my English wasn't improving a lot. Like, my pronunciation was really bad, and I knew that. But after that year, I tried to spend as less time as possible with Italian, and I spent a lot of time with native people. So when I arrived in Darwin, so after a few years in Australia, I was kind of very proud of my English, and I wanted to spend more time with Italian. I wanted to enjoy my own language again. Sometimes I don't remember Italian words. I remember them in English, but I don't know the translation in Italian, which is really weird because I'm losing my first language. So I'm happy to spend more time with Italians, because now I don't have problem in English, more or less. I still do mistakes and I don't care anymore. As far as can communicate with people, it's fine, it's perfect. But these 5 years helped me a lot. I'm so grateful of Australia, of the job opportunity, of the experience that I could do. So after 1 year in Darwin, I moved back to Perth, where I first landed in 2019, and for 1 year working in the mines. Wasn't everything perfect because I was working in shutdown, so I was on a casual contract. They were calling me only when they needed, when they were doing maintenance in the mines, and I struggled a little bit to find work, like consistent work, but overall it has been good. And I know I got a lot of questions about mining. My recommendation is to get in, also get out, because it's not a long-term job. It really ruins relationship. It's good for saving and to get financially free. At the same time, it's very mentally and physically draining. So you need to be careful. I would never imagine that I could stay so long in Australia, because I got very lucky with the visa. So I got a nil-back working holiday visa, which is like a free of charge working holiday visa, because I was here during 2020. And then I got a COVID visa, a 404. And now it's not possible to get it anymore with the COVID reason. I cannot be more grateful than this. And then the last 2 months I've been traveling. I travel on the East Coast. I cannot say how amazing the trip was. Of course, not everything was perfect. I sprained my ankle. I had very bad experience in the hostels, and apart from that, I met some old friends, met new friends, and I did so many experiences that I wanted to do. I did skydive, I tried scuba diving, I saw the Great Barrier Reef, I saw so many waterfalls, I did so many hikes. I walked so much during the last 2 months. All the places that I saw, the colors of the ocean, or the color of the rainforest, the smell of the forest and the birds has been incredible. And now it's time for a new chapter, to see something new. I'm so grateful for the person that I became, and there is still so much to learn. I'm not perfect, and I learned that it's okay. It's okay not to be perfect. It's okay to fail sometimes. I'm so happy that I didn't give up. I know who I am. I know my passion. I know where to put my energy. And during the last 5 years, I lost a few friends from my home country, because it's hard to keep in touch. We are like in two different worlds. Australia is so far from Europe. Australia did shape me a lot. Now I don't have many friends, but they are good. And it's okay. It's okay not to have a lot of friends. I feel like I discovered my strengths. I started to love working out. I appreciate the lifestyle here. Everybody is very chill. I'm getting so emotional. In a few hours, I have my first flight for going back to Italy. I cannot wait to see my family and my friends. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. Last 2 weeks have been amazing, and I had so much fun the last week. Oh my gosh, we went to the cinema together, we watched a movie together, we had funny conversation. Oh my gosh, we went bouldering together, having the best. Oh, I will miss them. I will miss them a lot. I will miss all the beaches here in Perth, the summer here, because now it's hot and I'm going back to Italy, which is winter and very cold. So I will miss this weather a little bit, even though I love cold weather. So I'm also excited about that. Thank you, Australia. A new chapter will begin now. I know I have a lot to process, so much to process. And I will take the next month very slowly. I want to spend time with my family. I want to keep posting on YouTube. I want to be better at editing. And I know life is not easy. It's not easy at all. But sometimes there are those special moments that you will treasure forever. And I live for those moments. And I did so many solo road trips here in Australia. And I enjoyed them a lot. And I was never alone all the time. I still met people, and I still spoke to people. I cannot believe this chapter is over. And now it's time to go. Thank you, Perth, the first city where I landed in 2019, and also it's the last city where I'm like flying from. I feel like everything has a beginning and an end, and this is like a circle. See you in a different country. All the best to everybody. We cannot be labeled by one word. We cannot be labeled by our jobs. We cannot be labeled by our passion. We are so much more than one word. And Australia taught me that we can be more. That I can have fun. I can start pole dancing even though I'm an adult. I can learn to handstand even though I'm an adult, and I never learned when I was a kid. I started to do gymnastics because it was my dream when I was a kid, and I wasn't able to do it. I couldn't afford it, and I did it here. So many opportunities, Australia. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for the new subscriber. Please don't be too hard. I know my English is not perfect. It's my second language. I really felt from my heart that this video was supposed to be in English. See you next week.